It's streaming. Okay. Hey, what up, itchy brown eyes? Yeah, dude, I'm finna drop some bombs right now, bro. I gotta put this deletion of the 3 zeros string to the back of my mind. You know what I'm saying? I gotta put this all over y'all's brainstem for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let everybody kind of get in, get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Bethany, good evening. Sorry, you guys. Had to run some errands. You guys know I got something to do this evening with Miss BB. So I thought we would knock this out once and for all. And if we're confused after this, then please, I'm going to hang up my Mr. Kangaroo hat and tell you guys I don't know what I'm doing. Daza's in the building. Says we got 13 watching, but I don't see it. Identify yourselves. You guys are gang, ain't you? If you gang, let me know you're gang. If you gang, let me know you're gang. You know what I'm saying? 13 watching. I only got one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of y'all in here. Gang, gang. I'm going to use my phone also. Good to see you, Carol. I'm going to use my phone also because, and please, y'all, if you guys can help some of the newbies on there go from the Patreon thing to this site because they don't want to miss this. This is a big one, okay? Matter of fact, I'm going to use the big dry eraser board for this one because there's some stuff we got to talk about, right? So we're going to use the dry eraser board today too because today's a very, 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 very... What's up, y'all? What's going on? Daza? Greta, good to see you always. Miss Beth, always in the building. Daza doing his thing. So, a lot of people confused about this deletion of the 3 zeros. You know what I'm saying? Hi, Beth. Hey, Daza. There goes Carol. Okay, we got a few more here. Let's see here. Any more watching? Because if we don't, we got one more watching. Should we start the theme music then, y'all? Let's start our theme music.
I am a baby. And I am the humble Mr.
Brando! Hey Mary, hey Ron. I'm gonna make y'all have something to think, man. All right. Welcome, 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 welcome. You are far too kind. And usually I'd be saying, welcome to the status of the Iraqi Dinar Reinstatement IQD in chat. But today we're going to be talking about Patreon, which is gang all day. You know what it is. And there's so much confusion about this deletion of the 3 zeros that I want you guys to understand that this is something that didn't start 2 years ago, 5 years ago. This is something started when they were invaded back in 2003. And while they were sitting there as a new forming government, the very first thing they wanted to do was lop their currency. And they did that. They went from the old Saddam notes to what we now hold ourselves, which is the IQD. Notice the correlation between that and Venezuela, what I tell you guys. Wait till they're invaded, wait till a new government's formed, wait to see what happens with their currency. When they lop it, then all of a sudden we're going to come in on the next round and buy the currency as long as hyperinflation doesn't take place. That's why I teach you guys about trade, and that's why I teach you about infrastructure, policies, lawmaking, because all that plays a part in how they're going to value that currency, is how strong their government is. We've already covered all that, okay? So, I'm going to read you a series of articles, right? And I'm not going to preface it anything, but with this, I'm just reading articles and I'm going to give comments and I'm going to take some notation. So as we go, if you guys got to stop it, rewind it, I suggest doing it when you're done with this. Go back over it amongst yourselves so you have an opportunity to read it and understand it. But I'm going to read some things, okay? This article was dated in the past. I'm not going to tell you when, but the reason for that is because just know it was in the past. Okay, there has been much speculation in recent months that the Iraqi dinar would be rebased, knocking off the last 3 zeros. Now, notice what they just said. There has been much speculation in the last months. Now, note you, this was in the past, that they would be rebased. They didn't say redenominated or reintroduced. They said rebased, knocking off the last 3 zeros. The latest Iraqi news is that Iraq will not, in fact, remove the zeros from its currency because it will not resolve inflation and will create opportunities for corruption, reports ACT News. One thing that you guys will note during the deletion of the 3 zeros is that one main reason why it's never taken place is because of corruption. The people that were going to be able to enact it were so afraid that corruption was going to take place that it wouldn't have made much sense. So we are going to read a little bit more about that. Citing a senior source in Iraq Ministry of Finance and Economics, the Iraqi dinar was largely devalued after Iraq's invasion of Kuwait in 1991 and the imposition of international sanctions on the country. While before 1991, one Iraqi dinar was equal to $3 USD, roughly now 1,170 dinars, according to the central bank exchange rates. Some experts have suggested that removing the zeros will enhance the country's currency and allow it to better tackle inflation. The central bank wanted to remove those zeros 3 years ago. We alleged that impossible. They wanted to do it again last year and it was rejected. They have been trying to do this over and over and over again for many years. This is nothing new, okay? The issue is currently brought up once again, but the Minister of Finance and Economics insists that the zeros will remain. The Deputy Minister of Economics. Nabi said, removing the zeros will not introduce inflation rates, as Iraq inflation has been stable and remained low for quite some time. Besides, it will create problems for many citizens because it takes time for them to learn to use a new currency. What have they been doing lately when they introduced the first batch of what you would call A class A, the lower denominations, the 250, the 500? You see what I'm saying? They educated the citizens. They actually put windows into place telling the citizens, don't throw this old currency away. Don't do that. It's still of value. We just got to tell you what to do with it, okay? So what they did way back then is now what you're seeing to fruition, because all these things are good. Now, they said, Nabi also said that certain people will be harmed by removing the zeros because their salaries will decrease, while it is unlikely the price of goods in the market would decrease. It is not clear to IBM how the minister came to the conclusion. So what they're saying is they didn't understand from that conclusion, from that minister, that how the goods wouldn't come down if the actual salaries came down, because now instead of getting paid $1 million dinars, you know what I'm saying, you'd probably get paid more, something like 100,000 dinars. Do you see what I'm saying? So they knew that, and they didn't want people to get ripped off or felt like they were going to have some type of crazy, you know what I mean, no money in it, so to speak, okay? Now, a guy named Nafi Elias, a finance advisor at the North Bank, told Al Matur that the step to delete the zeros is merely an administrative process and currency equations should remain the same. This means that the purchasing power of the new currency should be equal to that of the old currency. He added that the two currencies should both remain in the market for a period not exceeding 3 years. We know it got changed to 10 years. Then the old currency should be gradually withdrawn. Problems to arise if a debit or creditor transactions are not set according to the new currency brackets, or there are defects in withdrawal payments transactions. He added that it is unlikely to change the effect of poverty and inflation. He noted that the deletion of the zeros will not affect the Iraqi dinar purchasing power, but the latter is linked to the size of industrial products and goods. The CBI's hard currency reserves have saved the Iraqi dinar and served as a cover for it. Not applying the project at the moment because it will confuse Iraqis and disrupt markets. So back then in 13 they didn't do it, which is after Shabibi, right? Shabibi might have been 14, right? But this is the big thing that I want you guys to understand. Now you guys got to look right here. Amid these views, Deputy Director Shamil Brokerage Company told Al Matur that stock market will be harmed the most by a change of currency and deletion of zeros. The price of a share is 1 dinar, so currently 1,000 dinars equals 1,000 shares. Following the deletion of the zeros, a new dinar will be equal to 1,000 shares. So did you hear what he just said? Under the old system, if you bought one stock, it bought 1,000 shares. Okay? Under this new system, if they follow the deletion of the zeros, if you buy one stock, it would be valued at 1,000 shares. That's a 1-to-1, folks. Okay? See that? Beforehand, they said if you bought one stock, it was going to be equal to 1,000 shares. So now they're saying if you buy one stock underneath the dropping of the 3 zeros, one stock would equal 1,000 shares. So what they're basically saying is 1,000 to 1 equals $1. Do you see what I'm saying? This is really, really simple, okay? Now, the independent Iraqi news agency quoted Hussein Ashuri, a member of the Iraqi Parliamentary Finance Committee in 2014 has witnessed the deletion of the zeros from the Iraqi currency. He noted that the deletion will occur in coordination with the CBI and that as a result of the project, the number of banknotes in circulation will reduce from 4 billion to 1 billion. Okay? The step to delete the zeros from the currency has been proposed several times, leading to the parliamentary economic and demand that the CBI accelerate the project. The news conference held July 6th, economic confirmed the deletion of the zeros will lead to an increase in the value of the Iraqi dinar and will have a positive repercussion, including a reduction of unemployment and poverty rates in country. Now, understand this. They just told you that an increase, that's not a lop, an increase to the Iraqi dinar because of low inflation would have a positive effect and cause an increase in the value of the Iraqi dinar and have positive repercussions on society. Okay? The main task of the ICB is to maintain the stability of the currency and support the dinar. A new plan is filed to deal with the banks with regard to converting the foreign currency to their customers, where the ICB provides the banks with foreign currency depending on the amount of their capital. The banks will audit the transactions, instead being handled by the IBC or ICB on the condition of serving the Iraqi economy. Understand this. The main task is to keep the stability of the currency. When this follows, converting the foreign currency to their customers. Who are their customers? Everybody holding their foreign currency. So even if they're talking in first person, if they hold our foreign currency and they need to pay out, that they will be able to pay out depending on the capital. So depending on how much of that currency they hold, that they will make sure that you get the right amount, and they're going to make sure it does, because that's part of the stability part, right? In seeking to make the Iraqi currency stronger and more stable through new mechanisms in regard to dealing with banks to hard currency. That's the title of that. Hold on here, kids. I got a lot more to go. Okay, this is something big, so please pay attention. Regarding possible economic benefits of currency exchange, the benefit would be more in appearance. Currently, the value of the Iraqi dinar has dropped and is unstable. And removing zeros, instead saying 123,000 IQD is equal to 100. Whoops, I should have done it like this. 100 USD. Now, after removing the zeros, instead of saying the same thing, now we're saying that 123 dinars is equal to $100. USD. So if you take that amount and you say to yourself, well, what does that equal out to be? If you have 100 USD and you get 123 dinars, that equals out to be basically $0.81300. Now, you're going to say to me, hold on guys, my job. Hello? Hey, Brittany, what's going on? I'm filming right now. What's up?
You're busy right now?
Yeah, I'm filming. What's going on?
Oh, nothing. I have Mr. Crawford on the phone. He's looking into getting that love seat. We charged him $89 for the recliner. How much can I charge him for the gallery guard for the love seat?
125.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye. So, sorry, y'all. Y'all know I work. Now, remember, when we talk about the current exchange rate, being 0.0008, whatever it is. Let's call it 81, okay? What does this correlation and that correlation have with each other. From former 123 would equal 100 USD to the current, if they drop the zeros off the exchange rate, which is the 1200 to 1, which would be 123 dinars equals $100, which gives you a rate of 81 cents. If you lop the 3 zeros off the 0.008, doesn't it look surprisingly the same as the exchange rate of 123 dinars equals $1? Now this is in country, okay? Now remember what Kuwait is. Kuwait right now is basically 0.32, but that equals out to be like $3.22. So at 0.81 or 84, what does the dinar equal? I don't know, because at that math, that would make it sustained like about a $14 dinar, and that's not going to happen. Real numbers, real articles. This is all right here. Now, let's take it a step closer, okay? Okay, let's bring them to the bridge like we like to say in hip-hop. Changes in the Iraqi banknotes may add to already heightened tensions between Erbil and Baghdad. That's why they got to get the oil revenue straight, and that's why Erbil has to submit to Baghdad and pretty much give them anything they need to get the Article 140 set. See, this was all known back in 2012. So this isn't anything new. You see what I'm saying? Hold on here. We're going to go to the next one. Okay, listen. An Iraqi finance minister, the change movement, it's called the Goran, Gorran, maintained that there is indeed a proposal to modify the currency. The process withdrawing the old bills and replacing them with new needs a special budget. Remember, we talked about there being two budgets, which was not designated in 2012. It is believed the budget will be designated in 2013. Now, regardless possible economic benefits of a currency exchange, the benefit would be more in appearance. Currently, the value of the Iraqi dinar has dropped and is unstable. Well, we've already talked about that one. Hold on here. Let me get the last one. Hang on. We already talked about that one. Now, this is in 2012. They said, and they speculated, they announced that they were going to start making new bills in that August, but they didn't. Processing or replacing the old currency to new will continue throughout the year. The old currency will be completely gone in the first 6 months of 2014. So even though the bills will coexist, the bills coexist for 10 years. In the first 6 months, all old bills gone. So when I tell you guys that you have a mechanism or a window to exchange that's going to be tight, understand what I'm saying. They just tell you right here. You only are going to have 6 months before it stabilizes, meaning that if it hits that $3 range, $3.21 range, it's going to hit after 6 months. Even though the bills will coexist, it's going to get higher, higher, higher. The first 60 days of the reinstatement of the Iraqi dinar are crucial. Okay? Let's go back here. Boom. Boom. Sorry, I gotta close all these windows out as I go. Okay. Hold on here. Okay. A member of the Economic Committee of the Council of Representatives said the agreement includes granting the process of switching currency for a full year, where both the old bills and the new currencies will be dealt in the market in the same stage. The project is a positive move for the Iraqi economy. Some officials expressed fears about increase in money laundering. We will contribute to dealing with the inflation, facilitating economic cooperation in international banks, and reducing social differences in the community. It's more of a social pressure for them than anything. The move to delete the zeros will reduce the number of banknotes in circulation and simplify Iraq's payment system. What did they do all for the last few years to reduce the banknote count? They got people on the banking sector and they got them to deposit their money into the bank and trust them. So they've already reduced the note count prior to the deletion of the 3 Zeros project because they did it for the Iraqi citizens basically without them worrying or the thought of them taking that money and running out of town with it like so many corrupt officials had. Okay. Hang on here. He says this, the process will make the Iraqi dinar more stable and reduce demands for foreign currency among people. Implementing the process is related to the central bank, they believed at this stage. Iraq is not ready to eliminate it at that time, but the process for security. What do? They created security when they redid all the notes. The process of withdrawing all the old bills and replacing them with new ones needs a special budget. We've already covered that, y'all. So look, what I'm trying to tell y'all is they've already thought this through. There's a special budget, and they're not going to tell you what it is, okay? A member of the Economic Committee of the Council represented the agreement includes granting the process of switching currency for a full year, old and new, will be dealt with in the same market. The Financial Committee of the Council of Representatives said Saturday that the passing of such a law would allow Iraq to address inflation. What special law did they enact that Iraqi CBI could do it without having to worry about an actual law? They made the CBI government completely independent. Do you see what I'm saying? This is already done. The idea of all of what needs to happen is happening right before your eyes. Okay? Quoting a consultant referred to Mohammed Saleh, we all know who Mohammed Saleh is. He's like the deputy director of the CBI. The report says that deleting the 3 zeros from the currency would negatively affect Iraqi citizens, but would facilitate foreign exchange transactions and bank deposits and withdrawals. Listen to what he just said. Is this not the tell of the tale? Quoting a consultant referred to as Mohammed Saleh, the report saying that deleting the 3 zeros from the currency would negatively affect the Iraqi citizens, but would facilitate foreign currency exchange. They're going to take all those newly found dinars, go exchange it for USD, and then it would change the bank deposits. So they're warning themselves against what's going to happen. So they know that, right? Now, a banking expert said in his phone call with The Independent that the process of removing the 3 zeros from the Iraqi dinar will be positive for the Iraqi economy. He added that there are many countries that took the same step, including Turkey, which removed 6 zeros from its currency. If the exchange rate was amended in the prior manner, then the whole process would be beneficial. That's what we know. The Iraqi central bank would set up mechanisms to replace the currency banknotes with new notes and allow a period for everyone to replace their notes. Member of the Economic Committee in the previous parliament had urged Iraqi Central Bank, the Ministry of Finance, to address called financial fluidness of the Iraqi money by removing the zeros from the currency. Removing the 3 zeros from the Iraqi currency will not affect the Iraqi marketplace significantly because 1 dinar will be equal to 1,000 dinar of the current currency. 1 to 1 in Iraq. It will not affect the Iraqi stock market because what is currently 1,000 to 1 would now be 1 to 1. The central bank did not specify it was going to implement the process of removing the zeros. The Iraqi central bank cannot proceed with this step currently because of the cost. Now remember, they talked about cost, and that's why the coin conversation keeps coming up, because the coins are a lot less costly to make. They'll last a lot longer. So, I mean, not a lot cost more less to make, but because of how long they last in the marketplace, it's a lot more cost effective to make them. You see what I'm saying? Instead of going out and buying new currency, fractional pieces such as quarters, halves, like the stuff we see all over the place now. Iraq would need about 9 billion banknotes in the event of applying the deletion of the zeros. Iraq is dealing with 4 banknotes today. We know they're dealing with more than that now. Development in the gateway to strengthen the currency, thus raising the value of the dinar, is more important than the deletion of the zeros. So understand what they're saying. Development is the gateway to strengthen the currency, thus raising the value of the dinar is way more important than deletion of the zeros. So understand, deleting of the zeros cannot hurt the citizens or hurt the foreign investors, but they have to raise the value to make it attractive to everybody. The report over a malfunction that took place while implementing the project exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar against the foreign currencies. There was actually a time when they actually tried to implement the process and there was a banking malfunction. So all those times I was joking, laughing, said T&T Tony's a liar, da-da-da. He's actually got a little bit of truth to this because there was an incident where they tried to implement the process, and I've got the notes here. When they tried to implement that process, guess what? There was a banking malfunction. Okay, here's the last part, and this is the last bomb before I take any questions before I go. Redenominating is up to the Iraq Central Bank, but would cause chaos for the government. By redenominating after it has set an annual budget in existing denomination. That's why no redenomination will take place. In 13, 14 as well. It's never going to take place. They just told you right there. When they use redenominating, it's probably a word that they're using because it's an easy word for them to use. But they've already told us in articles historical data that they will not redenominate the currency. Okay? So I got like 15 minutes, 10 minutes. I'll take a couple questions. Did that put this to rest for you guys? No, I'm not saying that the rate's going to be 8.81 or whatever. I'm saying that yes, if you look at it from 0.32 is $3.22, then 8.1 is $8. And I read it straight out of an article, and I'm going to post that article for you guys in Patreon and for the newbie guys in the other group that aren't as sharp as you guys. Not because they're not as sharp, just they don't have as much tutelage under their belt. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody wants to ask me a question about the deletion of the 3 zeros, please don't ever let me hear you guys, any of you Patreon, ever say again there's going to be a LOP. There is no LOP. There is no redenominating the currency. They told us that back in 2012, 13, 14, and it's stayed the same since. That's why you guys don't see me ever worry about the word LOP. Come on, guys. Ask some questions here. Come on. Come on, guys. You guys got any questions? This is your big chance to talk about a LOP. Now, I can tell you that if it does cut that off, and we are looking at an 81, and it's equal to, let's say, 4 plus, then that number is only going to be for probably like 15 to 30 days. Hang on here, y'all. We got some questions over here. Let's see if we got some questions here. Oops, sorry. Let's see if we got any Patreon out there. There we go. We got some Patreons here. We live. Yeah, we live, Gerald. What question can I ask? You can ask any questions you want. How long do you think it will last? I think it will last until you see them announce the article about their minting the coins. Now, see, they've already said that they're going to have a committee to do it. So in my opinion, this is just my opinion now. They've already done it, okay? So that means if all that currency is picked up within the first 6 months, We have a window of 30 days to probably maybe 120 days to get maximum value. And that's based off their numbers, not mine. Okay? Do we wait 60 days after the reinstatement? Ron, no. You're going to go in there within the first couple days of the reinstatement and you're going to cash in, or excuse me, exchange enough currency so you get well. And you can pay your bills and become debt free. Yeah, you can call in, Gerald. Gerald, if you want to call in, call in. Thank you for the thumbs up on that. Gang, gang all day. Yeah, comments. So I'll look at some comments here, and I'll go back and forth. Let me see. So deleting the zeros won't change the value of the bill. That's it, Joe. That's what I've been trying to explain to you guys. They said it plainly. What will happen is that new bill will be replaced with bills. Meaning that if I give them one $1,000 note, they're going to give me $1,000 ones, fives, whatever it takes to equal out $1,000. They've said that the whole time. Actually, because of the exchange rate, they're kind of smart. If the value of the dinar in country equals out to be $1.23, they'll actually give back less dinar than they would actually take in, thus creating a more of a domestic currency stash. Fat boy, no, we do not wait 60 days. We want to go in between day 1 and day 60. Okay? We are going to be out of this investment completely. We have, I'll put it in big letters for you all. We have 32 60 days max, and we're done. We're out of there. We're out of there like a robbery. Okay? That's it. Because you know in 6 months that the exchange rate's going to level off because all the notes that they want to have in circulation will be out of circulation, thus for them making them curve off the actual Iraqi dinar to back where it will be a little bit higher or a little bit lower than Kuwait. So are you saying that when the rate changes, may come out at 81 cents and then within, no. Carol, it's a reinstatement. It's going to come back out at least $3.22 or 21 cents plus inflationary measures. It should come out basically at about $3.78. But we know that if it just drops to zeros for the first 30 days, that dinar could go as high as basically $8, and they're not really worried about it. Remember, Kuwait went as high as $12 within the first 30 days. Lisa said, can we have a seafood boil soon? Hell yeah, we can. A time frame in which all of this will get started? Yeah, this year. It has to happen this year. That's why you're seeing all the news about it now. Now, if you're talking about this year or you want me to guess a day, I can't do that. I don't do that. I don't know how to do that. If I could do that, I'd pick lottery numbers. It'd be easier. I'd be rich a lot faster. But all I can tell you is with all the news that they're doing and all the historical data out there, with them bringing it up and not saying postpone, 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 you're a lot sooner than what's up about, a whole lot sooner than later. What's up, Calvin Ball? Yeah, I recommend going, let's say you got $3 million. I recommend your first trip to the bank. Okay, let's do a scenario. You got $3 million. Okay? My first trip to the bank, I'm going to cash in $300K. That leaves me, subtext, 2.7 mil. I'm going to wait 10 to 15 days because you got to remember, if you're up $3, 300,000 dinar times $3 and let's say 78 cents, you're now up in real money 1.134 mil. If you can't pay all your bills off 1.14 mil, then you're in deeper financial trouble than I can probably help. Now that's basically just off a reinstatement. Let's just say it goes to $5 or $6. That's when you want to sit there and say, okay, if it goes to $3.90, if it goes to $4.10, $4.50, we know that it can go as high as $8, $8.10, based upon that information if it's true. Okay? So you're going to want to cash out just enough to get well and then wait out the process. That's why none of you guys are running off to Las Vegas the first 30 days. It ain't happening. You're going to have to stay even tighter knit and tightly close and have our banks and our strategy, because I'm going to chase. I've already set up my S corporation. I've already opened the bank account. I've already started applying for credit in a business name, because I already know that with doing this, I'm not going to have to assume a new identity. I'm going to assume a business identity with a built-in social. It's a whole lot easier. The taxes are way less. I'm going to pay myself like maybe $25,000 to $50,000 a year, and I'm going to ride off in the sunset, never paying taxes again to the level I've been paying them. And then if I decide to go ahead and do the dual citizenship, then I'll be taxed under a different jurisdiction or a different corporation based upon the tax system of that island. Okay? So think about it. You got 3 million dinar. You cash in 300,000 at $3.78. That's $1.34 million. You still got 2.7 million left that you can wait 10 to 15 days to see if it's 390, 410, all the way up to $8 if it can stand it. It can go as high as it wants to as a dirty float. Paul, you're welcome, bro. That's why I'm here. At $3, one IQD will see me healthy with some leftover. Yeah. You guys got to think, man. 75,000, because what's going to happen is Iraq's going to reinstate their currency, and as long as America doesn't default on anything, then there would be no hyperinflation here in America. We've got nothing to worry about but just spending our money and taking our time. So our window Cassandra to exchange between the first week all the way up through 60 days. And after 60 days, you can hang it up, because we know in 6 months, all those old notes will be taken away as far as they're concerned. And that's when the value of the Iraqi dinar is going to stabilize somewhere between high and low. Do you think we'll be able to purchase some more dinar the same day the RI? Yeah. You're going to, listen, that's why when people say, oh, well, they're still selling it on eBay, there's a currency dealer still selling it. A currency dealer or someone on eBay is in the market to make money. If they don't know the date it's going to reinstate, I would sell it all up to the very moment that it does RI. And once it RIs, it's up to them at that point if they choose to give you that money. And you already know the Exchange of America's policy has already said, if a reinstatement happens, they're not giving you the money. Thank you, Will. Do you ever drink water? Every day I drink water. Should we open an S account before the rollie hits? Not sure how to do that. I opened up my S corporation through LegalZoom. I paid it out in payments. I saved up my money, and I paid it out. Miss Bibi and I became equal partners in that. And my first venture capitalist thing that we're doing is we're opening up a foundation. So yeah, the venture capitalists, that's how we're going to own the foundation from an arm's distance. And I'm going to fuel that with the ISX, and I'm going to fuel that with a few exchange notes. But the idea is that we're going to be able to not be taxed. And if I move money from business to business, then I'm not taxed at all. And I can spend that money any way I want to. I could buy a helicopter. I could buy a plane. I could buy a boat. I could buy a building. I could buy apartments. Buy anything I want as long as it's for the business. And I can write it off. Sorry, Venus, about missing the first point. When do you think it would be a good time to just go empty your account and purchase more dinar? As soon as I get a for sure notice that I know they're gonna reintroduce those coins. When they introduce those coins, for me, it's basically telling me that it's time for me to quit my job. Okay, Gerald. Support issues are all based upon state to state. Like here in Texas, I have an ex-wife. I pay child support. But the max is like $2,300 and some change. I already pay the max in child support because of my current level of income. So it can never go higher than that. So let's just say you're paying $1,500, the max is $2,000. She can't get more out of you if you're in a certain state. So So are you doing deals at Chase only or most major banks? No, I'm going to Chase first because I have a relationship with my bankers. I like them. They've worked with me on my corporations, my private equity, my home, my everything. So I like Chase. People don't like them. I don't care. I like Chase. I could care less about rumors or whatever else. I'm going to deal with Chase, and I'm going to tell them that I have a bunch of Kanguru members that if they like Chase, they better do something for us to make me have some type of inkling to point all these future millionaires, 100,000aires, 75,000aires. You want depositors? I can give them to you, and they'll hold their money there, but they're gonna have to give me something and give you something in return. Thought that was Arizona iced tea. Nah, I don't drink tea. It's a diuretic. Well, we're down to 2 minutes. Yeah, if they're talking about coins, they're already done. Yeah, I am incorporated. I own an incorporation called Jackson Venture Capitalist Incorporated, and that business is going to fund the foundation. Yeah, an S corp. And the reason why S corp instead of an LLC or a C corp, because of the personal benefits that an S corp gives you. Now, if you guys want, the next talk that I could give tomorrow before the show would be how I'm building my business credit so I don't have to utilize any of my personal credit, and therefore I'm now starting to make myself anonymous. Okay? I don't believe in trust like that. I believe in corporations. They last longer, in my opinion. Trusts are great, but it's not what I'm into. And again, this is all personal. So if you look up and say, you know what, I want to trust, do your trust. I have no problem with that. I have been to business credit. Done. No, Venus, if you've already got all those things, then don't change a thing. If you want to change it to an S corp for the personal tax reasons, do it. But in other words, you're already well ahead of everybody else, Venus. Good job. And Venus, what arm of this are you signed up for, Venus? You need to be helping people. You should be in banking with me. Oh, yeah, Gerald, before I leave, man, hey, shout out, man, and salute, man. And y'all, don't worry about my eye twitching and stuff like this. I suffer from something called Bell's palsy. When I get stressed out, my eyes twitch, but it has nothing to do with what's going on right now. It has more to do with just general life. You know what I'm saying? So please don't be fearful for my health. I'm healthy. I'm fine. I'm losing weight. I'm down 20 pounds from 2 months ago. I plan on losing a whole bunch more weight because I plan on being around here for a long time to help my Kangaroo crew. I ain't going nowhere. Mr. Brando, may I suggest you say this isn't your own opinion only because you are not giving financial advice without a license. Mark, you're absolutely correct. The views that I've shared during this video are mine and mine alone. I don't expect anybody to take this as financial advice, nor should you plan on it being a financial windfall for you. If you're looking for financial advice, I suggest you go to a financial professional, not me. This is for entertainment purposes only. Yes, please discuss the plan tomorrow. Yeah, I will. I'll tell you guys all about it. I have it all written out. You can start your S corp and then the next steps, and then tomorrow I've taken care of a few more steps, so you'll know exactly where I am. I hate to say this, but Bethany was kind of like with me. She wanted to be a guinea pig. We were up late one night and we both filed for our stuff. She just took it a step further and already established herself in her business credit before I could. So, boom shakalaka. Okay, let's see here. We had a couple more things before I go. Oh, yeah, you're welcome, Gerald. You're the man. One last question. Get you some iron pills. Yeah, for my anemia. No, I'm gonna deposit my dinar into my business account, not my personal account. That's the other reason why I did it, because I have enough IRS troubles that I don't want to mix the two up. Yeah, S corp. And tomorrow I'll do the talk. S corp, the benefits of how to establish credit, how to establish certain things that you can use every day before the Iraqi dinar hits. Because if you don't have perfect credit or you want to become anonymous, quit using your own personal social, start using your EIM to use all your business with. I'll teach that class tomorrow. I thought you guys would like that. No LLCs for me. S corp. Okay, guys. Let me see if there's a last question. If not, we'll hang this up, man. There's two. Venus, then hit me up, man. Someone tell Venus, would you post my phone number to Venus so she can see it? Yeah, Miss BB's way smarter at taxes than me, and she could help out way more than I can. But you know what? We're here to help. And my strategy is my strategy. Again, my strategy is mine. If this is not your strategy, I get it. Do whatever it takes to make you well, okay? But with that, you guys, I want to say love, peace, and hair grease. And you know what? We're going to do some more Patreon here again. Hold on. Could you discuss that? I currently have an LLC but can't afford professional help. Yes, Chad. Yeah, Naheem, Hassan, I will definitely discuss it tomorrow then. I have it. I have the video ready. I have the script ready. So we'll discuss it. We'll make it happen so everybody gets it. And I hope this was beneficial to everybody. And to you all, a good night.